Good book. The Toltec. Thousands of years ago, the Toltec were known throughout southern Mexico as women and men of knowledge. Anthropologists have spoken of the Toltec as a nation or a race. But in fact, the Toltec were scientists and artists who formed a society to explore and conserve the spiritual knowledge and practices of the ancient ones. They came together as masters, Naguals, N-A-G-A, or N-A-G-U-A-L-S, and students at Teotihuacan, the ancient city of pyramids outside Mexico City, known as the place where man becomes God. Over the millennia, the Naguals were forced to conceal the ancestral wisdom and maintain its existence in obscurity. European conquest, coupled with rampant misuse of personal power by a few of the apprentices, made it necessary to shield the knowledge from those who were not prepared to use it wisely or who might intentionally misuse it for personal gain. Fortunately, the esoteric Toltec knowledge was embodied and passed on through generations by different lineages of Naguals. Though it remained veiled in secrecy for hundreds of years, ancient prophecies foretold the coming of an age when it would be necessary to return the wisdom to the people. Now, Don Miguel Ruiz and Don Jose Ruiz, Naguals from the Eagle Knight lineage, have been guided to share with us the powerful teachings of the Toltec. Toltec wisdom arises from the same essential unity of truth as the sacred esoteric traditions found around the world. Though it is not a religion, it honors all the spiritual masters who have taught on the earth. While it does embrace spirit, it is most accurately described as a way of life distinguished by the ready accessibility of happiness and love. Okay. Introduction. The Four Agreements was published many years ago. If you have read the book, you already know what these agreements can do. They have the ability to transform your life by breaking thousands of limiting agreements you have made with yourself, with other people, with life itself. The first time you read the Four Agreements, it begins to work its magic. It goes much deeper than the words you are reading. You feel that you already know every word in the book. You feel it, but perhaps you never put it into words. When you read the book the first time, it challenges what you believe. And takes you to the limit of your comprehension. You break many limiting agreements and overcome many challenges, but then you see new challenges. When you read the book a second time, it feels as if you're reading a completely different book because the limits of your comprehension have already grown. Once again, it takes you into a deeper awareness of yourself and you reach the limit that you can reach in that moment. And when you read the book a third time, it's just as if you're reading another book. Just like magic, because they are magic, the Four Agreements slowly help you to recover your authentic self. With practice, these four simple agreements take you to what you really are, not what you pretend to be. And this is exactly where you want to be, what you really are. The principles in the Four Agreements speak to the heart of all human beings, from the young to the old. They speak to people, different cultures all around the world. People who speak different languages, people whose religious and philosophical beliefs are vastly different. They have been taught at different kinds of schools, from elementary schools to secondary schools to universities. The principles in the Four Agreements reach everyone because they are pure common sense. Now it's time to give another gift. The Fifth Agreement. The Fifth Agreement wasn't included in my first book because the first four agreements were enough of a challenge at that time. The Fifth Agreement is made with words, of course, but its meaning and intent is beyond the words. The Fifth Agreement is ultimately about seeing your whole reality with the eyes of truth, without words. The result of practicing the Fifth Agreement is the complete acceptance of yourself, just the way you are, and the complete acceptance of everybody else, just the way they are. The reward is your eternal happiness. Many years ago, I began teaching some of the concepts of this book to my apprentices, but then I stopped because nobody seemed to understand what I was trying to say. I've been there. Though I had shared the fifth agreement with many apprentices, I discovered that nobody was ready to learn the teachings that underlie this agreement. Years later, my son, Don Jose, started to share the same teachings with a group of students, and he succeeded where I had failed. Maybe the reason Don Jose was successful was because he had complete faith in sharing the message. His very presence spoke the truth and challenged the beliefs of the people who attended his classes. He made a huge difference in their lives. Don Jose Ruiz has been my apprentice since he was a child, since he learned to speak. In this book, I am honored to introduce my son and to present the essence of the teachings we delivered together over a period of 7 years. To keep the message as personal as possible, and in keeping with the first-person voice of prior books in the Toltec Wisdom series, we have opted to present the fifth agreement in the same first-person style of writing. The fifth agreement in the same first-person style of writing. In this book, we speak to the reader with one voice and with one heart. Okay. I guess this will begin me starting. I'm going to upload this on X and YouTube. Might. Anyway. Who cares? Great cloud saves the eternal moment over and out. Ditto.